have the same life across the world?
It's a great question. I think, honestly, the first thing that comes to mind is humanity. And I think one of the things that I talk about a lot with casts around the world is, if you think back to like where you were when you first heard it, where we all were, the show was such an act of generosity for Lin-Manuel to write these songs that he was never going to sing, you know, to wait for it and think that's not my song. So he gave so much to us in the material, and then the designers added, and the Andy Blankenbuehler added, and Alex Lacamoire, and so everything, the whole history of the show is what all the people that got to work on it have given, and that gift and that generosity, I think, is what makes the show special. And when you hire extremely talented people to then bring everything that they can and everything that they know, I think that's what's special beyond beyond it just being a musical.
And does every stage that you go around the world have like an actual functioning turntable? Because I can't believe that.
Every stage?
Yeah.
Yes, every stage. Yeah. Turntables around the world. Yeah.
That's amazing. That really is.
They call them the Revolve in London.
The Revolve. Okay.
Yes.
So sophisticated.
They do sound sophisticated. Yes, the Revolve. That does sound better. We should probably adopt that. The king would love it. So we have. So Cherry, I want to bring this to you because, firstly, you were a fan. I assume you enjoyed the musical before you were even involved with the show. Tell me about what it's been like to become from a fan to Peggy.
I mean, it's been such a whirlwind, full circle situation for me. I remember I was on a cruise ship. I was working on a cruise ship when I first heard it, and I just heard the soundtrack. And it took me, I remember I flew back to New York after working on this cruise ship, and my friends were obsessed, had seen all the sneaky bootlegs, that.
Put your phones away.
They had seen them. And I remember my friend showed me Helpless Satisfied and just that entire sequence. And that moment I was like, oh, this is magic. Like it hit me. And I actually went to college with Jasmine, who played the original Peggy. So I was like, it's just, life is such a crazy journey. When I got to meet her in the tent, I was like, hi, this is like such a full circle moment. But I remember the very first time I finished learning the show, it's just such a beautiful piece that in the very end, I was like, I got emotional even. I was like, this is such a special moment for me to actually be standing on the stage. But yeah, it's been just a full circle, really special journey. It's been 7 years, so I've kind of gotten to see it from the perspective of Eliza, from the perspective of Angelica, and now from the perspective of Peggy. So it's been really cool to get to play and live in this world that I created.
Well, Jisel, you get to sing that song. And I think, and I'm just going to make a declaration here quickly, there could be arguments about whether Hamilton is on certain people's Mount Rushmore, if you will, of greatest shows for them in Broadway's history. I think there is no question that Satisfied is on the Mount Rushmore of greatest songs in musical theater history.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And I think we're getting a lot of nods in here. I know this is absolutely pandering. But I do firmly believe that. And so, Jisel, I want to just ask you, you have the privilege of singing that every night, and the true task. Tell us how you do that, and what are the lasting reasons why it really sticks with people from your eyes?
Answering how feels kind of impossible. Oftentimes I walk off a stage and I'm like, what happened? Like it almost feels like a blackout moment. But there's a lot of preparation obviously that goes into it. You know, there's layers upon layers upon layers of attacking that song, you know, lyrically, musically, like, you know, choreography and blocking. I remember when I first learned it, I started out as a cover. I was a standby for all three sisters, and so Angelica was my second sister that I learned, and by that time there's already so much information. I had learned Eliza first, and you know, this is a massive task of a show to learn. And so we get to that number, and they're like, okay, make sure your hands hit on this number, and you're on this word, you're walking these 3 steps, but don't go any further. Make sure it was so much, and I was very, very overwhelmed. And I think it took quite some time, especially as a cover, because when for the first 2.5 years, I only did like 150 Angelica shows in like 2.5 years as a cover. And it never really felt like it like locked. There's like not enough time to like feel like you've got this song like truly under your belt. And then I stepped into Angelica full time towards the end of my time on tour, and that was for 5 months. And that was like sort of a barely like, okay, I think I'm doing this like well. And now I'm a month in on Broadway, and I'm just, it's like, it's taken truly that entire time. And all of that development and all of the like slowly discovering new things in it to feel like I have it more. And the nature of live theater and the nature of me as a perfectionist, like I'm never gonna feel like it's like perfect all the time every show, but it is like crazy to think about, and it was a lot of hard work and digging to attack that layered, nuanced, complicated song. But it is truly an honor, because it is like an insane song, an insane thing that Lynn wrote. And yeah, and for why people love this song and why people connect with the song, I think there's just so many aspects of, as PV said, humanity. There are so many times in life where we have to zip up whatever we're feeling and put on like a different mask. And I think no matter what that has to do with in your life, everybody can relate to that in some way and at some point. And I think because that's such a basic human experience, that's why that song, like, it doesn't matter if it has to specifically do with the fact that you're in love with this man, that, like, you know, it doesn't have to be the exact details for you to feel the essence of like, I have to put on something else and be strong for somebody else, or be strong for just the moment that I'm in. So yeah, I just, it's really hard to articulate that, but I think that's at its essence what it is.
But you did. You just articulated that very well. Very well done. It's a hard question. So talking about putting